Hi, we're live here at VMUG, South Florida, right? And I am joined here by Ariel and Brad, who are experts in this community. And again, we are in Florida. Our events team are over in Georgia and Texas. And we want you to tell us where you're at. Just post wherever you're watching us live from. We're going to light up this map and show where everyone's joining us and experiencing us have a conversation about why we're so excited to be here. So, Ariel, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
My name is Ariel Sanchez. I work for VMware. I've been working for them for 5 years as a senior and now a staff technical account manager. And I've been a fan of VMUG ever since I was a customer. I was a VMUG leader in New York City, and I helped the VMUG in Pittsburgh. Now that I'm in Orlando, I'm the official VMware liaison for South Florida. And it's just so good to be back to in-person events. I'm sorry, I'm so excited. Go ahead.
So that's where we officially met, was when we were in New York, way back, pre-COVID
Yes,
era.
the ancient eras of 2017.
And Brad, tell us a little about you.
Yeah, so my name is Brad Tompkins. I'm the executive director of VMUG. I've been doing this role since 2015, and it's really an honor to represent such a great community. You know, our mission is for our members to get the most out of their VMware and partner solutions, but it's also just a career advancer. So many people have taken advantage of VMUG, and I mean that in a good way, and beefed up on their technical skills, but also that interpersonal skills and public speaking, those kind of things, and really has made their career just blossom. So it's neat to be part of that, and we're here for education, but a lot of people take advantage of the other things, and they round out their skill set, and they go crazy places and do good things.
So we had a big conversation about this last night, and you were saying this isn't just like an advocacy program. This isn't just like events out there. It's not just education, but it really is a career advancing community. And I think partially the free element, some of those people that don't get to go out to those events that cost like $5,000-$6,000 to get into and go do that training, you guys offer it for free, which means you get to reach to them and have a career opportunities you never thought you could get to.
That's right. And you can get plugged into your local community for free. Go to vmug.com/join, become a free member. Events are free. Attending virtual events are free. This in-person event here in South Florida is free. And it's a great way to get plugged in and learn a lot of new things, but more importantly, meet people that help you along the way. The community is great about giving back and helping people. So if you have a challenge with upgrading to 7.0 or how to install this, put it out there on the community and you will get help. And it's always really good information because it's people that have experienced what you're trying to do, so it's firsthand.
It's also a very welcoming community.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I've seen another community where people are incentivized and helped to actually present. So VMUG turns out to be, for a lot of us in the community, our first public speaking experiences. And I want to also talk about something we were talking about just now, which is the impact that VMUG has had on careers. And I'll talk a little bit of mine, but I also want to hear about yours, Karen. So,
well, you first.
Maybe me first.
You
All right.
first, yeah.
So the first time I attended a VMUG was in Denver, and I couldn't believe that this was an event that I would go in, get to learn things, and they would even give me food for free. I was amazed.
Great taco lunch, taco bar.
Today was great. And in that same session, I met people that later on mentored me to give my first talk. And moving around the country, I knew that if I found a local VMUG, I would get friends. So that's how I ended up getting involved with the New York City group and becoming a leader there, mostly to help with Twitter because that's where a lot of the people in the community are. And from there, and the experience that you get with working with vendors, helping other people in the community to solve their problems, moving on into the VMware TAM position that finally got hired was very easy for me. And since then, I've given presentations at VMUGs on several topics, But like you mentioned before, not just technical stuff. We're also having presentations on how to round out your soft skills, how to work with, different situations and different projects. So it is one of the most welcoming communities and one of the, like you guys said, very interested in the development of each one of the users.
So we also have Veeam Vanguards, which is our advocacy program, and a lot of our Vanguards are actually also V experts because we have such a strong partnership, and it just makes sense to work together. Our first product was backing up VMware, so we definitely have a good ecosystem there. Okay, so my turn, right?
Yes.
You're not gonna let me off of this. So, I think VMUG, my very first presentation that wasn't a Veeam presentation to a Veeam community, like doing it like our internal forums, was a VMUG. And that was the one that we met at in New York, was my very first VMUG, my very first speaking position outside of that. And it was like, it's weird. You know Veeam and you understand Veeam and you've talked to a lot of Veeam communities. Learning how to then tell people that aren't Veeam communities about Veeam was a different experience. It helped round out that soft skills. And I love the soft skill presentation. Joe was actually one of the ones I went to go see, and he talked about
Joe Hughes.
Yeah, Joe Hughes. He was telling me, okay, you can be aggressive and not realize it, or being self-aware of how you come off to people.
But we're a very tight-knit community
Yeah.
and very welcoming community, so it's rare to find those two qualities.
Yeah. So I think we have the map up and ready. Let's go ahead and do that. We'll start off here in the United States. Now, I'm going to call off Florida again just because we're here in Florida, but we have people watching live in Florida right now. So I want to give a good shout out to them saying that, yes, it's not just us out here.
If you're close, you still have time. You can come by.
Exactly. I think the taco bar's been taken up, though. Then we have Illinois and Maryland on the map now. All right. Moving over to Europe, we got Scotland, the Czech Republic, Slovakia. Then we have
Thank you for
Saudi
saying
Arabia, Mongolia, India, and Indonesia. Wow.
Thank you for staying up and watching.
I
this.
know. It's incredible to see. It's like they're the bedtime show.
Yeah.
And I think that's everything that we got on the map here. Wow, it's incredible. If you do have, or you're still out there and you haven't posted in the chat yet, let us know where you're at, and we'll see if we can give a shout out to whoever joins us. See how many we can light up. So how about you? What's your career been like?
So my career, I've been in technology my entire career. I started as a VMUG executive director back in 2015, and user groups have been part of my career the whole time, and it's been really interesting to kind of, be in that role. And growing up, I was a general manager of a data center. I was director of IT for an insurance company and using VMware and SRM and cover point appliance and all that kind of stuff. So that was a lot of fun. But when this job opportunity came up, like it's still in tech because I'm so close to VMware and great partners like Veeam and those kind of things. But it's like I don't have a data center to go get on the keyboard and do stuff with. So it was a little bit of a adjust, but it's been fantastic to be with such, just such a great OEM like VMware and awesome partners like Veeam. Veeam's an elite sponsor, so we appreciate that for being at all of our VMUGs. So
We love being here. I think we have some of the greatest community engagement when we get to events like this. There is no other event, I think, that Veeam sponsors that pulls in the demographic that we get to have here, which is cool. And you guys are so welcoming. Again, I think we can get it posted out in the chat. If you're interested in becoming and joining us, going over to vmug.com/join. Sign up is completely free. You can get newsletters, get access to the forums to ask all of your questions. Sometimes I get questions answered there faster than support. Just
that's not
saying,
surprising.
If you have a support question that's not getting answered immediately, just push it out to the community. There's always someone in the background that has an answer for you.
Yeah, those tweets occasionally show up in my time, and I'll try to, amplify that question.
Yeah.
Because we are focused on helping others, right? So it's for me, it was amazing the job that the VMUG did, and obviously everyone in such a meeting when COVID hit, because it was such a different format and a different experience, and people were working all day on Zoom. So being able to also grab them and say, "Come to another Zoom session, stay with us for a while." You guys did some really amazing work in keeping that engagement. But it is so good to be back live. I cannot tell you how excited I was.
I know, it's nice. And for those who don't know, all of our user cons are in person. They're in person only. We do have virtual events, so we kind of, from a total package, we've got hybrid. You can do virtual or in person, but we wanted our in-person events to be in person only so we can make them the best that they can be. And really excited. We've got a lot of events coming up. You can go to our website and check them out. Philly is going to be Thursday. Then next Tuesday is St. Louis. Then following that is Seattle. And then Germany, I believe, is May 5th. So we're going to be all over the globe. So check us out. Again, those events are free. I'd love you to join.
Even if you're not near one of these major event sites, there's a lot of local chapters still meeting and getting together. So if you can't make it to one of these bigger ones, they pull sponsors in. Like I've done small user groups where they pull like Veeam and we'll give a Veeam presentation that we give at these big events to just like a small group of people, and then we're having pizza and a couple of beers with half a dozen guys.
It's actually very. I love the small presentations.
Yes.
Because you get to have people talk to each other more, right? Sometimes, and I noticed that you did a change in the UserCons, which is you didn't have as many sessions going on at the same time, so people would have a chance to mingle and stay and talk to each other. So that's the beauty of user groups, is getting to know other users, getting to know what they're going through. Of course, you come here to learn, but you also want to learn about how different people have resolved different challenges and why, right? So it's so good to be able to participate in the user group in general. But I think VMUG and Veeam have done a great job at keeping engagement up and down. Big events or small events.
Right.
Yeah.
So Twitter.
Yes.
We got to talk about Twitter because you're a huge Twitter guy.
I am a huge.
For those people who didn't know, Ariel didn't know he's going to be speaking with me until my manager put out a tweet, messaged both of us, which is basically volunteering me, but we're going to be doing this thing and I'm going to be working with Ariel on this. I didn't even have your email address. All we had connection was Twitter, and he like immediately responded. It's like, let's do this. And we were all excited and liking each other's messages. But yeah, Twitter is a great community starter, and we have the hashtag for the South Summit. But I think there's a generic one for like hashtag VMUG as well, if you want to check out what the community's like, just as a glimpse. I'm hoping there's no photos up there from last night.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, yeah, the main VMUG Twitter handle is @myVMUG. So if you want to check out the main one, you can do that there.
That's right.
Hashtag VMUG, and for this particular event, hashtag SFL, South Florida VMUG. Yep. And Twitter is really, out of all the social media platforms, and you know, I would consider Reddit to also be very active and managed by, maintained and managed by VM employees as well. But I feel that if you want to get introduced, if you want to put out a question that you don't know the answer for, if you want to really catch the energy of people attending an event, you have to be on Twitter. So we joke all the time that every time I find someone that doesn't have Twitter, I sign them up on the spot, and I did buy a Twitter stock one time. But
well, you have this challenge. Like if you run into someone out here in the field and they want to advance their career, you make them make that, and then you go around and tell everyone that they have to add this person to start growing their followers. What's your top count?
What's my follower count?
Top count for like a new user in a day.
I think I once I signed up like 10 people, because I basically said that if anybody wanted to get into Twitter and immediately start getting connections, just find me. And I sat down and suddenly people showed up. And it's really part of being friendly, right? And giving that referral into the community. And just, I met you, I talked with you, I understood what you're about, what you're interested about. I want to share you with my friends, right? So yeah, it's digital networking, and that's the world we live in.
And I tell you, it's also the DMs. Like my DMs, I just keep it open, right? Yeah. And a lot of people will just DM me, hey, I need help with this and that. You mentioned emails. Like half the people I just communicate through Twitter DM. Like I never email Ariel. I just hit them on DMs, and I'll get a quicker response. And I admit I'm probably quicker on a Twitter DM than an email, because these things keep rolling in.
missed even sometimes.
That's
Like,
right.
it's right there. Oh, this is a great event, but I also want to tease. VMon is coming up here in the middle of May, 16th to 18th.
Nice.
And if you're not already registered, you should definitely register. VMon.com. Just simple. Come to this page. Whether you want to attend in person or completely free virtually, you're gonna have access to over 40 hours of sessions. I have to do virtual sessions. We're doing live from the event. We're doing keynote streamed. We are having an in-person experience. We're bringing back Data Lab Wars. We're bringing back it's at the Aria here in Vegas, or not here, but over in Vegas. My brain, I gotta go to Vegas later today, so my brain's already in Vegas. But if you register now, we still have an early bird discount. You get $200 off of the in-person event.
Nice.
And bonus. If you sign up, regardless of doing the free event or in person, you get a chance to win those shoes.
Nice.
The Beam Green shoes. So you get entered for a chance. I don't even have those shoes. I want those shoes.
VMon is always a premier
Yes.
event. It's always a lot of fun. So definitely want to see a lot of people. Of course, going to the virtual event,
Yes.
but also I want to see the pictures of the live event as well, because you guys always do a great job.
I got some crazy numbers. Something like 1 to 35 or 40 people is what we're expecting to be on our virtual event. And we have an entire staff that's going to be live answering questions online for everyone. And it's completely free. And you get to access the content. I think they're going for 6 weeks after the event. So if you can't do it right away, getting that registration first and making sure you're in that pool for sure.
COVID changed that. It used to be like virtual events would be like that day only.
Yeah.
But COVID, everybody had to adapt to different things. And it's like, okay, we spent all this effort to get you a great event. We want you to get value out of it.
Right.
So now you have, 30, 60 days access. And what you mentioned, having the people that either are supporting the product, from the technical support or tech marketing, to have them there answering questions live sometimes is such a great value add for people that are, that live in maybe in middle of Alabama and they can't go to VMware.
So I like to think I work pretty closely with our development team, but I'm actually going to be going to our future sessions because we're in product releases now, and they're going to be covering future product releases that aren't even out and doing live demos of that by our development team.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be slipping into those sessions just to see what we have coming because they're going to get out to the audience before we get it in some case. It's incredible.
I join when we do like multi-cloud webinars. I think we just did one for April, and I joined them because I get so much out of our internal, speakers presenting publicly. You get to learn about cool technology, everything that VMware is doing now with, we're moving to being a SaaS company, and so we're changing a little bit. Like everything in technology changes all the time, right? But those events are invaluable because you get to hear it from CTO, C-levels or chief technologists, architects. They're always so good.
Sometimes I feel like they build a smoke screen and
I feel they hide the secrets and then they come out with a surprise, right?
so we actually have some new people joining us here. We got Argentina,
Yeah.
Brazil just lit up, and Iran. Wow.
That's really amazing.
All over.
Shout out to my Latino friends.
We have an incredible following out there, and I am always shocked when we get the Asia region. You guys joining. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you
Yes.
for staying up.
Ariel, you mentioned all the changes going on in the tech industry, and that's just more of a reason to get plugged into a community. If it's not VMUG, join the VMons, join a community so you can keep up with what's going on. I mean, a lot of companies are moving to SaaS. A lot of companies are talking multi-cloud. Of course, you can't go to any IT conference without talking about Kubernetes. And, now's the time to pay attention to your career and learn what you need to build onto your existing skill set.
Yeah.
But I just challenge everybody, don't rely on your existing skill set. Continue to add to it because the technology is changing quickly. And, in 5 or 10 years, it's going to be a whole new world out there.
Well, and it's cheaper than ever to find a lot of information.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
But that also comes with a problem. Where do you start? So finding somebody that has already walked that path in front of you and can give you some pointers, that for me is a lot of the value that we get out of our user groups, is finding people that will basically tell you, go through here, not through there, because that would be dragons, right? So
That's right.
So, to call out the education bit, for anyone that isn't aware, if you're a V expert, you get a Pluralsight subscription for free. So, they have tons of training, tons of material. I've actually pulled people off of Pluralsight, like reached out to them as speakers to come do like co-events with our company because they have a great, like, since the paywall, they have a higher class of speakers at Pluralsight.
I don't think Brad knows this about me, but one of the ways that I was able to get awarded the expert was with my home lab. And my home lab was running VMUG Advantage licenses. So every time that there's a VMUG UserCon, they always run like a $20 off special, like a 10% off. But VMUG Advantage is a way to get free, almost, it's $180 when the special pricing. You get a lot of licenses that you can play with in your dev environment or your home lab. And those really help to build out blogs and to explain things for applying to the expert. So I don't think I've ever told you that story, but I actually got VMUG Advantage approved at my work for 5 people. Nice. I was the only one that used it again.
So you also don't have to be a sponsor. If you want to dip your toes into the public speaking, you guys do open call for presentations.
Yes.
And if you got something to talk about, they'll at least give you a shot.
Yeah, and we encourage, anybody to go ahead and submit in the call for papers. If you're doing a peer presentation, our members love hearing from peers. The war stories, the true stories of, how upgrades go or, what your journey is and those sort of things. So it's a great way to get plugged in. And if you are doing a community session, there's even some funds there to fly you around and get you to some of these places as well. So that way, I actually travel a lot of the U.S. presenting at VMUGs for at least 2 years before COVID. Yeah. And it was just such a fun thing to be able to give back. The things that I was learning on the job, things that I was learning with customers, make a presentation out of it because I thought it was interesting, submit it as a CFP, and then at some point the VMA leaders get the list and they say, okay, I think this one would be interesting. That's right.
I remember Ansible, when Ansible and vSphere was a topic that nobody really knew a lot about. I flew around the US for a while.
Yeah.
Doing the community presentation on Ansible and vSphere.
And another thing about VMUG is for end users, obviously, but it's also for VMware employees and partners. So anybody can be a member. It is free, like we've mentioned numerous times, and it's an individual membership. So Go sign up, use your work email, Gmail, doesn't matter. Just get involved in the community. And
I don't even have it through my company. I have it through Gmail.
Yeah.
So I can get it to my personal name, so I can get my Pluralsight subscription under my personal name. But I've loved being a part of the VMware community and having such a strong partnership with Veeam. I kind of wish I knew about it when I was still in the support days before I started doing more of this evangelism. I think it would have accelerated my career a little faster into this.
Sure.
That's what we find. Yeah. We find a lot of people that, there's always stages. People come in and they lurk. They don't talk to a lot of people. They just kind of eat the food, get the session, they leave, right? But at some point, they start actually opening up and participating, and then that's when we ask them, take the chance, give a presentation. We've seen so many examples of career advancement in our community, which all of us are part of the product, right?
That's right.
All right, Brad, do you have any closing thoughts for us?
I just, again, encourage everybody to get involved in the community, make sure you're taking care of your career, think about what's coming, not only what you need to know for, tomorrow's operations, but what's coming down the pipe in, the next 2, 3, 5 years. UserCons and local chapters are a great way to get involved and to learn things like Ariel said, if you are thinking about public speaking and adding that to your skill set, you can start out at a local VMUG chapter that might be 20 to 50 people. You don't necessarily have to start out as a keynote speaker like Ariel did today, but it can build up to that. One of my favorite tweets, it was Alan Renoff, and he just walked off a stage at VMworld in Barcelona, and he was with Pat Gelsinger, and he tweeted, he said, if you ever think about getting involved in a VMUG, that's how I got started, and I just walked off the stage at VM. So your results may vary there, but it is powerful. Hit me up on DM on Twitter if you have any questions or want to get plugged in or just want to talk. more than happy to, give you a phone call. We'll set up a Zoom or whatever the case is. But get plugged in. It does show results. You have to put effort into it, but it does show results. And it's powerful.
How about you? What are your closing thoughts?
I'm going to enjoy this afternoon. I'm going to go see Joe. I'm going to see Steve Athanas, who was the previous VMUG president, giving a session today. When you were mentioning, advance your career, he actually advocates be a leader in your company. Be a leader in understanding new technology so that you can lead the rest of the company. So he's always a great guest, always a great speaker. And, just having fun again, being able to share stories with everybody and seeing everybody in person. I was looking so much forward to that.
So I, again, love coming to these events. I also love that Veeam themselves sponsor these events because that makes it free for you guys. Plus, not just lunch. You get after event beers too. It's not just about the lunch. There's giveaways, there's flags, there's an entire room over there full of sponsors to make it so you guys can come here. Always make your rounds with the sponsors, let them get their leads, and so we'll keep coming back, of course. I'm going to have to say my closing thought's going to be around VeeamON. That's our big industry event. We have been so looking forward to being in person for that as well. May 16th to 18th. And again, if you have not already signed up, head over to VMon.com. You get $200 off of in-person and completely free if you just want to register for the virtual event and get entered to win a pair of shoes. You'll still have access to tons of content. We have our directors and our presidents in the company coming out and speaking on main stage. We have product developers that haven't told me what features are coming to tell everyone in person about this, and doing live demos. We're making sure this is a technical conference. There's going to be, I think, a couple soft skills sort of entities. We have great party at the end. If you haven't heard about a VeeamON party, you probably just haven't heard about VeeamON. So I hope you head over there today. I really appreciate both of you joining for this impromptu live at events.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Bye.